Chapter 4, as the French say. Hopefully you're all having a good day. Days after the Bitmore's house party, your mind keeps drifting to your thoughts of Mina's lover during your lesson. Who could Mina have been kissing with such fervor? If only I could do that with... You don't allow yourself to finish that thought. You couldn't possibly think of Nate kissing you with such unbridled passion. Instead, you continue to recite your ancient Roman text in Latin with ease. He grins, nodding in approval. You've taken to this rather well, Sophie. It might be time to raise the challenge level. Or we could stay at the current level, so I may continue to overachieve. The door bursts open, and the Duke rushes into the room. Your heart sinks as he stomps over to you and Nathaniel. Finally, been running all over this house looking for you. The library of all places. The nurser's reading selection was rather infantile. Well, you should have told me you'd be up here, so I didn't have to waste my time. My apologies, Lawrence. I will be certain you have a list of all my comings, giggity, and goings in the future. What can we do for you, Lord Bedford? I have an important visitor coming from the continent tomorrow. The, Victomy de Noisette. He's interested in partnering with me on the import side of my business. It's imperative that the gentleman is charmed, which means you'll need to teach my wife how to charm him today. And you believe me to be... lacking in charm. I charmed my way to your hand in marriage, did I not? I was charmed by your title. Your mother's the one who made the deal. Well, I'm well aware of how and why our union came to be. And it wasn't your charisma either. Why should it matter in a business deal? It isn't about one business deal. This could lead to investment from more French nobles, those damned English who snubbed me. Say no more, Your Grace. I'll drop my planned lesson for Sophie and prepare one in French customs. You fight to conceal your disappointment in this digression until you spot the mischievous twinkle in his eye. But French society leans more egalitarian than ours. Making a show of difference to your wife would go a long way to impress the Vicomte. The Duke shifts his stance uncomfortably. Oh, well, I suppose that makes sense. What do you want, Sophie? No, that won't do, Your Grace. The French kiss their wives' hands and call them mon amour. You watch, mouth agape, as the Duke kneels before you and kisses your hand. What may I do for you when our guest arrives, mon amour? Well, I suppose you could rub my shoulders and serenade me. Don't think that will help us. Listen to the man, Sophie. I didn't hire him for nothing. Wanted me around already. I'm sure Nate wasn't being literal. You give him a pointed look and he nods, heeding your cue to seize the joke. Forgive my attempt at humor, Your Grace. I'll leave you with this, Sophie. If I can't secure the Victonte's business, I may be forced to cut extraneous costs from our lifestyle. So basically anything and everything you do. So your cooperation would be greatly appreciated today. Bonjour. The Duke leaves, slamming the door behind him before anyone can correct him. Oh, bonjour. Oh, it's cute. I'm sure he meant au revoir, but with that out of the way, let's continue our lesson. We can't simply ignore that Lawrence just threatened to cancel our lessons. Should we take today to review French? Your French is already excellent. Your household already is dîner à la française. And I happen to know the Vicomte personally. The thing most likely to win him over, you already possess. Don't you dare say a kind heart. He moves towards you, his gaze dropping into the curve of your lips. His eyes seem to darken as he whispers in your ear. He is a great lover of female beauty. which means you help your husband's cause merely by existing. Then instruct me in how to wield it, his other tastes. Surely there are other things I can do that may charm him. You can try, but I can't guarantee you'll be able to focus on anything else. His gaze dips to your figure and returns to your eye so swiftly you almost miss it. I think you're the one who's distracted. If you insist on more instruction, I should let you know the French are more, libertine people. What do you mean? His voice goes husky, eyes gleamingly dangerous as he casually lays a hand upon your arm. Your skin flares to life beneath his touch. They dance closer, indulge themselves in sumptuous feasts, and they never forgo a chance for carnal pleasure. Carnal pleasure? You mean with a lover? It's what gives their women that allure that men like the Vicomte value so highly. The Duke and I are not compatible in that way. Even when his business depends on it, he can't be bothered to entertain my desires. But you don't need a partner to pursue your desires, not even for the carnal ones. His gaze grows darker and travels across your skin, following the swoop of your chest before landing on the curve of your lips. All you need is a bit of privacy, some instruction on how to please oneself. I'm sorry, what? Something stirs within you at the idea. Without thinking, your hand begins to drift up from your sides, grabbing the fabric of your dress. Your husband was quite set on you impressing the Vicomte, and a woman with that allure exuding such confidence would surely do so. So, Sophie, our lessons today focus more on what I can teach you about finding that pleasure within yourself. Tell me more. I want to know how to harness it. Carnal pleasure is when we give in to our most basic physical desires. When we are particularly aroused, both men and women find a certain release in carnal act. Your breath stutters in your throat, air entering your lungs in short, ragged breaths. You may recall our conversation with a bit more state. A sudden chill prickles your skin as you recall the frantic coupling of the deer you saw on your stroll. You shiver, but not from discomfort. Your voice comes out hushed. But how? How can one experience the same fervor without another? Oh, listen, I can help with this one. It's called mind over matter. You have to imagine such things that they are literally happening to you. I'm a master of it. Anyway, he glances at you and there's an intensity in his gaze and sets your heart racing. Have you ever felt a particular stirring between your legs? A rush of feeling there that quite overcomes your senses? Or have your skirts never brushed up against you there, sending a shiver over you that can neither explain nor ignore? I know exactly what you mean. An urge I couldn't satisfy, but also couldn't ignore. It's almost infuriating and frustrating at times, maddening even. At your confession, his eyebrows arch ever so slightly higher, and add a small knowing smile curves his lips. Frustrating in a way that you wanted the urge to go away. You want to lie, but his eyes make it impossible. Even as your truth makes no sense to you once you've spoken it aloud. I don't think so. I think I wanted the urge to strengthen somehow. And what did you do about it? His words cut through your heart pounding. It dawns on you that the very urge you're describing has encroached upon you. I did nothing. I did not know what to do. Said no one ever. You force yourself to take a deep breath, calming the scandalous thoughts swirling in your mind. Bearing those chance moments you speak of, I'm still not sure how one pursues, let alone satisfies this urge on one's own. First, you need to awaken the sensation. Fornication is the end of the act, but the low whisper in the ear. He leans in, you tremble as his breath brushes against your skin. The brush along the arm. He skims his fingers down your forearm and a shiver runs through you, echoing from deep within. You inhale sharply, lost in the feeling of his tantalizing, teasing touch. The hand at the small of the back, all those are tender that the fires of passion blaze forth from. He places a hand at the curve of your back. Heat spreads from his fingertips, cascading outward to the rest of your body. But all those touches prepare your body for the act itself, are things one can explore alone. By doing it yourself, you can find the spots that invoke the pleasure. Is it the skin of your throat, the inside of your arm, or your breasts? You gain a sudden awareness of the way your bodice feels against you, every breath pressing them tighter against your corset. Your mind reels, but your back instinctively straightens as if to puff your chest forward for his eyes. For the next step to be the most successful, you have to first explore your body slowly. It sounds thrilling. I've never explored it in such a way, but now that you say it, You wish to? You cannot quite bring yourself to say yes, but the smirk curving from his lips makes it clear that he knows the answer. That is not the end of the journey, you know, but I think you'll enjoy the next step. You're an avid reader with quite the imagination and a strong desire to satisfy your curiosity. He looks at you with a wolfish grin, eyes locked with yours, daring you to look away. Your chest begins to swell, a fire starting in your belly filled with yearning. And that imagination will serve you well in what's to come. Your body thrums with energy, eyes lingering on his lips, yearning to know more. And the second step, how does it progress? I swear to God, we're teaching a toddler at this point. It feels uncomfortably like what? You hang on his every word, tugged along into his orbit. As you run your hands over yourself, you imagine they are the hands of the one you desire most. It takes every ounce of your willpower not to conceive those images at the very moment. As part of you fears who you'll picture. You dream of how they might caress you, kiss you, touch you, make your touch their own. And what if I'm caught? Caught suggests that there's something to be ashamed of. There is not. And having an audience can be part of the thrill, depending on who it is. Part of you feels terrified at the thought, but the heat that is rushing through you feels nothing like fear. Who would possibly want to watch such an intimate thing? She is too goddamn naive for this. Come on now. Wouldn't you? Your face grows hot as his eyes burning you, like he's caught you. He knows he's the one in your thoughts, like he's placed himself there. Technically, he has. It can bring a very unique sort of release to do it to oneself while the very person you fantasize about watching your every movement. Your mind runs wild with the images of your door opening as you lie spread on your bed, him stepping inside, your whole body set aflame with the thoughts, dangerously close to him, eyes fixed on his lips. Once you're really ready, reach between your legs and... Oh, Lord. Again, YouTube. That's as much of this particular lesson as I can guide you with, your grace. After theory comes practice, and that's for you to experience alone. Your fingers are practically itching to touch that same place on your body that he gestured to, but you take a deep breath to steady yourself. Yes, our lesson on ancient Rome? In French, perhaps. Des Ossiacs, non? Later that day, you retreat to your room with a few moments to spare before you need to change for dinner. You lie down on your bed having felt restless since your lesson with him. I am quite alone. There's no reason I couldn't at least try to understand what he was talking about. Really? A tremor of excitement runs through you as you consider his words. Something done only in the privacy of your own company. Your eyes flutter shut as you listen to the rustle of the wind outside the window, the loud pounding of your heartbeat in your ears. This is a good time for a nap. I made you laugh, I'm just saying. You trail your fingers lightly down the inside of your arm, brushing the sensitive skin of your wrist. A gasp escapes your lips as the thrill it elicits. Oh. As you brush a delicate finger along your forearm, you imagine your fingers are Nate's. You can almost see him standing over you, watching every shiver of pleasure your touch brings. Must hear him whispering in your ear. Eager to try today's lesson, aren't we? He slides his hands over your hips, rubbing smooth circles along the curves as you under his touch. Your sensitivity heightens with every movement of his fingers as he stokes the fire of desire that you've been repressing for far too long. Shall I take a more active role in your education? Your breath catches in your throat, the anticipation building inside of you, eager for him to explore more of you. Please. He leans into his breath, tickling your ears. He murmurs. You feel your body growing hot, dizzy with need. His gaze travels over you, admiring every curve of your body. A slow smile spreads across his face. Where would you like me to instruct you? Kiss my neck. I've longed to do just that, Your Grace. You gasp sharply when his mouth meets your skin, trailing insistent kisses along the sensitive skin of your throat. He teases you, tracing lines along your neck with his tongue as he presses passionate kisses into your skin. The softness of his lips, combined with the warmth of his tongue, leaves you panting as you gaze at him. Oh. Groaning in pleasure, you writhe in his arms as he peppers kisses on your neck. You're beautiful. A throbbing ache erupts from your center. Growing more painful each minute, you look up at him with glazed eyes, dizzy, yearning for that passionate release he spoke of. In a daze, you breathe out a shaky breath and pull him closer, pressing your body against him. More. His eyes darken as he gazes at you with a fierce intensity. You tremble as you watch his hand slowly reach under your skirts. Lord help us. I'm serious, I can't with this book. I just can't at this point. I had no idea such carnal pleasures could feel this good, and with only my fingers. I just can't. What else will he teach me? The next afternoon, you're in your room reading a French novel when you hear the creak of the carriage wheels on the drive. Is that the Vicomte? I think so. Let's go to the landing and see if we can catch a glimpse. You and Campbell position yourselves out of sight on the upper floor. You see your husband emerge and bow to the Vicomte de Noisette. Noisette, I believe. My, your estate is lovely. Those Persian rugs are exquisite. I've been told I have quite the eye for decor. Aren't you the one who picked those? And just about everything else in the house. I stopped in with the Earl and Countess of Fairview along the way. They were abuzz over your new bride's beauty. Hopefully she lives up to their reports. You can see for yourself at dinner. For now, let me show you to your room. You hurry back to your room as not to risk being caught spying in your own home. So he's got an eye for aesthetics, and seems like he's already anticipating your beauty. This is good, right? I think so, but is it odd to wonder if I'll measure up? No. Self-doubt in my presence, Your Grace. We'll put you in something that makes you beauty. Absolutely ambiguous. I'm sure the Vicomte would be taken with a gown with some continental flair. Unambiguous. Sorry. My brain's having a brain fart because this book puts my brain intellectually to sleep. Campbell helps to dress you in a stunning gown unlike any other you've seen. You peek at yourself in the mirror, admiring how the dress fits your figure. The dress is daring, but so lovely. I don't even care whether it charms our guest. Nor should you, but there's no doubt in my mind that it will. In the dining room, you're greeted by a large feast. Nate, the Duke, and the Vicomte are already seated. At the sight of you, his eyes light up and look at a wonder passes over his face. I'm so glad you could join us for dinner, Vicomte de Noisette. It's a pleasure to meet you. He smiles broadly and rises from his chair to greet you. His eyes travel over the decadent gown, taking you in all your finery. Oh, you're not the only one to derive pleasure from this interaction. The Viscountess of Fairview's raving account does not do your beauty justice. I could not agree more, Vicomte. Her Grace certainly knows how to make an entrance. The Duke follows the Vicomte's lead, rising to pull out your chair for you. Ah, yes, my wife is exquisite, is she not? It rather makes up for her strange little personality. Ah, gotta get a slide in there, don't you? The Duke smiles at the Vicomte before turning to the footman beside him. I said that today's meal must be served according to French customs. Ah, but your Grace, this is the way we always dine. You have one job, man. Lawrence. You're clearly confused. Would you prefer it some other way, dear? I've always preferred dining à la France. But if you had other thoughts... The Vicomte chuckles loudly. Forgive my husband. It speaks to your ubiquitous ways that we English dine in your style without even knowing it came from France. You make it like that, I suppose I should be flattered. Only when the opportunity arises. The Duke looks confused for a moment before catching on to the meaning of your words. Yes, my wife couldn't have said it better. French style it is. The Duke briefly glares at you. You hurry to redirect the conversation. You're welcome, sweetheart. We just saved your ass. The meal continues without issue. The Vicomte turns to Nate, gesturing with a spoon. So tell me, how does a debauch like yourself weasel his way into such an estate? The same way a charlatan like yourself becomes a Vicomte. Someone with sense saw use for my eclectic knowledge and experiences, which he applies daily as my private tutor. You're employed here by Lord Bedford as a tutor for women? I told Sophie myself that it's a ridiculous pursuit. There's no reasoning for her with her, of course. It's incredible. And just when I thought Sophie could get any more fascinating, what has he been teaching you? Plenty of things, poetry, ancient Roman history, mathematics. But our most recent lesson absolutely opened my mind to a new world of possibilities. He raises his glass to his lips to mask his smirk. It sounds like you enjoyed your homework assignment. Oh yes, I think I'll be practicing every single night. I'm embarrassed to say my own studies have lapsed. Perhaps you could inspire new devotion to the academic, no? You should tell the Vicomte about Donnie's poetry. It was such a favorite of yours. Oh, yes. What especially did you enjoy about the poet? You think back to the first day of your studies. I especially liked celebrations of love. I'd never read anyone who wrote so openly about the physical desire and love. In some of his work, he goes as far as to compare his workmanship of women to that of God. That's blasphemous! Is it now? Why would God make women so luminous if man was not meant to revere her? I like this guy. It's true. It's very true. Women are just beautiful. Truly. I'm serious. Every single woman is beautiful to me. But we won't get into that right now. I haven't looked at it that way, Vicomte. Perhaps there's something to this poet, this, John fellow. Donnie. There's Footman, come collect our plates. You must have quite the voracious mind, Duchess. Even some French ladies of my acquaintance are not aware of his more earthly works. I suppose I'm lucky to have a tutor as broad-minded as mine. Exactly what I thought when I hired him. You're just a yes man, aren't you? Anything that makes you try and look good. But you said you were studying ancient Rome. It is quite a fascinating subject, no? I'm particularly interested in the mythology. So many legends, so many deities, heroes. Ah, and so libidinous. While not the focus of our studies, it's a hard occurrence not to notice. Is this your favorite course of study? Ancient Roman history? Actually, my favorite subject is all history. Ah, so much of it too. More history is being made of the day. Is there an era in particular that fascinates you? I have an affinity for ancient history. The story of mankind is the truest epic. There's a grandness to how we discover the distant past that inspires awe. It makes me wonder how those of distant future will discuss the now. That what is mundane to us may inspire magnificence in future generations. The Duke gawks at you in awe as Nate tries to conceal a grin. The Vicomte leans back in his chair, considering your words. My Lawrence, you've found quite the intellectual of a wife. Yes, I didn't know the extent of her studies with Nate. You cannot credit me for all that she is. I arrived a mere fortnight ago. Sophie was a sharp woman already. I have never known Nate to shy away from claiming credit for anything. You are truly special, Sophie. Really? You don't think the whole thing's a bit strange? Sorry, I forgot you were in the room. Of course it is strange, but what pleasure it is to be found in every day, Your Grace. You try not to smile too widely at the praise, but the way Nate is looking at you, the pride in his eyes. I've hungered for knowledge since I was a girl, but Nate's lessons have truly emboldened me to pursue it. And of course the Duke agrees, otherwise we wouldn't be undertaking these studies. Yes, that's right. The Vicomte turns his broad smile on the Duke. A woman with such elevated mind surely deserves the most elevated of beverages. Do you have any champagne in the cellars? The Duke snaps at a footman who scurries off to retrieve the champagne. He returns shortly and pours some for each of you. Have you ever tasted champagne before, Your Grace? I haven't. I suppose I've been curious. I don't find it provincial. Champagne is the drink of kings. Many of the world's most fortunate individuals have not experienced it. Especially real champagne. Of course, rakes such as Nate and myself imbibe it as often as possible. Or at least, as often as I'm given the opportunity. Toast then to champagne? Yes, Lawrence, to champagne. You take a sip, bursts a bubble cascade through your mouth, tickling the inside of your nose as you swallow. Heavens, it's so delicious. I don't believe I've ever tasted anything that sparkles on the tongue. What a delightful way to describe it. But then I should not be surprised, as you have proven yourself a delight time and again. I'm glad there's something I was able to teach a woman so lovely as yourself. Vicomte, shall we retire to the smoking room? There are some wonderful cigar imports I'd like to show you. I'd be happy to. The perfect finish to a lovely evening. Good night to you all. The Duke and the Vicomte head to the smoking room as you make your way upstairs. You're just turning the corner to your room when you feel a hand catch your arm. Nate, what are you you'll give us away. He lightly places a hand over your lips. You can't help but smile. What is so urgent that you must convey it to me privately at this hour? I couldn't let another moment pass without saying how breathtaking you are tonight. Are you implying there are evenings when I'm less than breathtaking, Mr. Pippin? Hardly, though even a star shines brighter on some nights more than others. A smile, coyly, at him, longing to brush a hand against his shoulder to pull him closer. I also think congratulations are in order on such a splendid performance. Well, thank you for the compliment, my newfound courage. The compliment. My stellar performance was the result of your instruction, whether you accept it or not, but I am appreciative of your words. Oh, Sophie. You mustn't produce gratitude over something so obvious. My words are not compliments, they're simply what's true. You don't agree with the Duke that my desire for more knowledge is strange, unwomanly, perhaps? You find yourself leaning perceptibly closer, craving the sensation of even the lightest touch of his fingers on your body. Your desire to learn is perhaps the most appealing thing about you. If the Duke can't see what a gem he has in you, I pity him. And truthfully, I have a hard time imagining someone more womanly than you. His gaze darkens, eyes traveling from your lips to your swoop of your chest. Your bosom heaves as it's pulled by the gravity of the stare. Sophie, Yes? Before you know it, the entire royal court will be raving about these. Upon hearing the Duke and Vicomte ascending the stairs, he jumps away, his touch lingering on your skin. Wait. Good night, Your Grace. With a quick bow, he strides off down the hallway. You hurry to your room and place a hand on your chest. Your heart pounds at how near you were to being caught, and sinks when you realize that you won't hear what he had to say to you. Boo-hoo. The next morning, when you come downstairs for breakfast, you find your husband already eating at the table. Will the Vicomte be joining us for breakfast? No, he told one of the maids not to disturb him until after 10. Is that why he's in such good health? A waste of perfectly good hours in a day, in my opinion. Yes, but then they stay up late into the night. It's called being a night owl. Well, it'll be nice to see him later today. I enjoyed dinner with him. Ah, yes, our La Francaise dinner, which you could have stood to tell me sooner was already correctly served. Speaking of, you were marvelous last night, a perfect Duchess. This will surely increase our standing within the gentry. Thank you, Lawrence. I'm glad I could be of use. That gown of yours went a long way as well, I'll give you that. All in all, Nate has been worth every penny I've spent, and then some damn good thing, too. The man doesn't come cheap. In better news, the Vicomte and I have come to an agreement. We need only formalize it in London. He and I leave tomorrow. The household is under your control while I'm away, but let yourself be guided by Nate. I trust his judgment. I'm to be alone with Nate. That's just what I said. Why are you being so strange? Must I be concerned that you'll somehow burn the whole estate down? Not at all, dear. Everything will be fine. I may never even leave the bedroom. The Duke ambles out of the breakfast room, already bellowing at his valet, leaving you alone to turn over this morsel of news. The estate all to myself. I wonder what sorts of lessons we will undertake. I don't know. What do you think? Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description below. Links to a bunch of cool things to check out. Seriously. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like I said, intellectually, I'm falling asleep with this crap. I I could have been finishing up Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I could have been doing the new Tears of the Kingdom. I literally and figuratively could have been doing anything else. When did choices just become so bad? Like, there's just, I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Seriously, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Right? I value your opinion more than anyone else's. Seriously. Like, oh, I'm serious. If I'm wrong, tell me. Because I value all of your opinions. But, like, I don't know. This is just mine. We just. I'm so tired of the old crap. And we had one futuristic book that just was really horrible. Like, it's almost like they never watched a sci-fi show in their entire lives. And then we deal with, like, constantly going into the past of, like, 200 years ago. And, dealing with just very lackluster story in and of itself, and just bound chicken wow wow at every turn possible. Where's some good storytelling, man? Remember Storyscapes? Man, it sucks what happened to them. Like, we all were like, yes, this is the app we wanted, and yeah. I'm serious. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. I know there's some other apps out there right now that I've got my eye on, especially because people are utilizing the whole, AI and art and things like that, and they actually are very interesting. There are a couple of visual novel apps out there that are, well, like I said, I'm keeping my eye on. I might actually start covering her soon. Um, as I'm catching up on content, especially for like I said, I've been grinding out Zelda and all this other stuff. Just keep this short and simple, but I might start dipping my toes in other things really, and start really moving forward. Because let's be honest, this stuff it just we need to add some spice into this very mundane, 3 times a week kind of thing. Because and here comes the summer, right, where there'll hardly be anything. Because every summer we go through the same, don't we? We all go through the same. It's like one chapter on Wednesday and one chapter on Friday. I remember there was a time where, every summer we only got like one chapter period for the week. Yeah, no, I don't know. Alright, catch y'all later, peace.